to all the dispossessed youth of Africa, for perpetuation of communion with ancestral spirits through the fight for African freedom, and in the firm faith that the dead, the living, and the unborn will unite to build the destroyed shrines. Selah. Hello and welcome, beloveds, to another episode of Ask Dr. Mumbi. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life truly on your own terms, beloveds. There's so much that's going on internationally, and please remember, the world is a stage, beloveds, and literally we're witnessing and watching, different theatrics going on. That's why it's important for us to create our own story that we're moving in the majority of the time, and maybe just spending the minority of the time checking out what's happening as Babylon gets ready for total collapse. Now, several of you had asked me to comment on what's happening with the 10,000 Haitian refugees that have actually crossed into the divided states. By the way, there's been a border crisis that's been going on. For you guys in Africa who have no clue that this has been going on, there's been a massive border crisis because Biden literally welcomed the immigrants to come through, and I think he said something like, "When I win the presidency, we have to welcome everyone, because that's the American thing to do." And then we saw them, welcoming the Afghanis, actually flying the Afghanistans even before their own Americans into the divided states. They're going to be getting a stipend. I think I was reading something like $2,800 or something like that. By the way, all these people have not received the jibby jab. But so there's been this border crisis where a lot of different migrants from, South America have been crossing into the divided states, and nothing much was being done until the Haitians arrived. Now, if you know, there was that was it not HARP incident where there was another massive earthquake, and earthquake in Haiti, and and so there's a lot of Haitians that have crossed over, and all of a sudden, they're saying as more than 10,000, mainly Haitian migrants, sheltered under this bridge called Del Rio, this bridge in Del Rio, Texas. It was, they're witnessing a new surge in migration. All of a sudden now, Joe Biden has said that he is going to step up deportation of Haitians to address the migrant surge. They're currently doing, I think, 8 flights. 135 people or something like that can be held per flight. So they do 8 flights per week. They're saying they're going to be increasing that to 10 flights per week so they can get 1,000 something people back. But, there had also been this story where Biden had allegedly said that they were not going to be deporting Haitians. So that's why there was this massive surge. But all of a sudden, beloveds, why is it okay for some people to cross the borders and others not to? There is something much deeper going on in the divided states that people are not really aware of. That is going to, create a problem in a situation in the seasons and times to come. You're definitely going to see, many things rolling out. And many feel that with the way that Biden was encouraging the migration into the divided states, if you looked at the people that were entering, it was mainly young, able-bodied men. So is there some sort of invasion going on? Are they, covertly recruiting? Or have they already covertly recruited different army, different young men to now serve in the U.S. Army? Because we're seeing there's a lot of pushback with everything that's going on and with the different mandates that are being brought out. But beloveds, I don't even know if our people are aware that there is a big population crisis among the Mzungus. In fact, many are saying by the end of this century, they will no longer be there. I think they were saying in the divided states, they are going to be the minority by the 2030, and they don't want the majority to be people that look like you. They'd prefer to have some browner people to kind of act as a buffer instead of having, the black people coming into the full population. So there's a lot that's going on, beloveds. Nothing is happening by accident. It's all being orchestrated. And this should be so clear to you with the fact that, they were just letting anyone in. And then the minute the Haitians arrived, all of a sudden, now it's a Haitian problem and they're sending them back. And, it's not just Haitians that were arriving. Haitians were being joined by, Cubans, Venezuelans, Nicaraguans. All of them were kind of camping on the bridge. And I don't know if you saw this picture. And this shows you, beloveds. I mean, seriously, the divided states is not for black people like the way it is. The current administration, the administration that's been there, the invasion that happened, over however many years ago. And they show you it is a white supremacy state. I don't know why people don't see that. And there was this very, very disturbing picture that came out where there was this man on a horse with a whip, literally, chasing down this Haitian who was barefoot. And it brought terrible memories for many of the slavery days. And people were like, really, do they have to use a whip in this season and time? But all of this is also being done for optics. Remember, beloveds, the most important thing right now is the narrative and the story that they're sharing, the story that they're trying to get us, hooked on, the story. They want to drive the group consciousness. They want to make it go this way and make it go that way. And all those images, even because that image went viral of the Mzungu on the horse whipping, the black Haitian who was running away barefoot with his, his meager, everything he has in this life in the bag. It went viral, and we have to realize the reason that went viral was because it was supposed to shatter the people's minds, beloved. Shatter the people's consciousness. Deter more Haitians from crossing the border to show what kind of violence they're dealing with. And an interesting thing is, I was speaking to an elder a couple of years ago, and he was telling me how you see all our youth that have gone to, Europe, that have crossed over to Europe, the ones that are crossing over to the divided states. It is literally like an army. Spiritually they're there. A spiritual army. It may not be directed or orchestrated by anyone, but it's a spiritual army. But there's something happening also with Afghanistan, beloveds. Like, how does the divided states leave billions and billions of dollars of military equipment? And there was rumors that China was going to take over one of the ports. Because you see, the New World Order, the center of its governance was supposed to shift from the divided states to China. Because the divided states now, the nationalist movement has taken on, too much. It's gotten too much steam. And so is it a coincidence that China is taking over the Afghanistan, base? And why is America allowing all these Afghanis in, but it bucks when it's people that look like you and me? Because they don't want us in what many people call Atlantis. They don't want us in the divided states because it's not even about our organization. It's about our presence there as a melanated people. Let me know what you think about this story. I absolutely love to hear from you in the comments. Don't forget to like and share the video. Until next time, tuko pamoja.